Welcome, welcome. Hello and welcome. If you're here, it's wonderful to have you. If anyone pops on, please let me know that you can hear me, as we know that audio has been an issue in the past. But I'm trying a bit of a different time frame and hoping that this might help. All right, looks like we're all in frame and ready to roll. Just gonna take a minute here, make sure everything's kind of all set up. My little plant helps to have some life happening in the shot. These are sketches. Sorry, I'm drinking my coffee still. These are sketches both here and here that I've done in my yard on subsequent days. Nothing too exciting, but just things I was thinking I would like to paint, and I thought, why not do it on a live stream? So here we are. Today I'm going to be using this palette, which is just a mishmash of various colors, mostly from Da Vinci Paint Company and Roman Schmal, and a few like Schminke things thrown in here and there, and this one from Daniel Smith. So there's that, and then this one here is a collection of my Da Vinci paints, which was really like one of the first palettes I ever used. So I don't know what I'll be using more or whatever, but, and I already had started this side obviously, so I'm gonna kind of just work on that. And if anyone pops in, feel free to say hello. It's a very unusual time for me to be streaming, but that's part of the plan, because I'm kind of hopeful that it will improve the situation as far as the audio. Everyone in my neighborhood is working now, and trying to get my chair in the right spot. It's working now, and so maybe the Wi-Fi has less demand on it in the area, and that might help. I'm not sure. Ooh, that's pretty. My sketch is a little bit, kind of turned out a little bit wonky, but I have recently discovered that plein air painting, painting outside, is really, really great. It's very beneficial in terms of building observational skills, and I've been really enjoying it. Just sitting in my yard, painting. I promise I won't talk ad nauseum about my paralyzed dachshund, but because he's getting better and, you know, everything, I'm having to just sit in the yard a lot and just let him play with his ball, whereas before I could like put him out there and the dogs would play, whatever. But now I kind of need to be watching him. So I realized I should bring my sketchbook and sit there and paint. And And so I've been doing that in the mornings really early. And I've been up really early in the mornings because I'm trying to reset my body clock right now. So it has served both purposes. Watching the dog and building my art skills. Well, I guess all purposes. Also resetting my body clock. Getting up really early is what I'm trying to say. Like even on my days off, getting up at like 5:30 in the morning. And I think it's starting to work. We have a yard full of sunflowers every year, not purposefully. We grew them years ago. We started growing them and then they kind of overtook the yard, like the grass area and stuff too. So we didn't plant any, but when my husband sort of took them out in the fall, he ended up chopping up a bunch of them. And well, you know, they have a fair number of seeds. So accordingly, those seeds did what they do. And they just started growing. And now we have eternal sunflowers in the yard. So I'm just I had laid down that like little yellow underpainting area. And now I'm just gonna start adding in some of the details. This sketchbook is that Hannah Mule sketchbook that I swore off of for all eternity. Well, clearly eternity has reached an end because I'm using it. But I've discovered its benefits. They are few, but there are benefits. And the last thing I want to do is like waste sketchbooks. So I've kind of learned how to use it. It's quite good for these like loose paintings. And also I've been using it for like acrylic paintings. You guys, I will show you after a little while. I plan to show you some of the really fun art supplies I've gotten recently that I'm really enjoying. Acrylic markers being one of them. Need to add in some darks here. Let's go with like a dark blue. Nice dark blue. This is a Indian throne blue. Very dark. I mean, relatively speaking. Maybe I can add in that dark green with it. A nice kind of bluish green. The sketchbook's really good for like wet and wet, and you just don't want to lift a whole bunch or do any kind of like smoothing of edges too extreme. It does not serve you with this sketchbook. I can promise you that. All right, so what I'm trying to do is demonstrate that this part is lower and then it kind of comes up and goes back down like a leaf, you know, does. Once this is dry, I'll add a layer of green over it. You'll see if you watch. But yeah, so just trying to get into really living a very slow life these days. Nothing too hectic or crazy or busy. Well, that's not true. Busy, yes. Things have been quite busy, but not allowing that busyness to make everything feel super hectic. I think that is the key for me at this point in life. I think it's the key for a lot of people right now, allowing that slowness to fill in the days, not always feeling like we're hamsters on a treadmill. So funny, people come in and then they are like, nope, gotta go. I don't blame them. This isn't like the most stimulating conversation ever. It's hard to sit there and talk to yourself. I mean, I do it pretty often, but not when I'm being filmed. Being filmed makes it sound like this is happening against my will, like someone else is doing it to me. I think that leaf looks kind of cool. I'd ask you what you think, but there's no one here. That's okay. I mean, it really is. It's kind of what I was looking for, why I chose this time of day to come on, rather than like a more typical time of day that I would go live in the past. I'm going to add a little bit more color here. All right, let's let that dry a little bit, and then I'm going to work on the other side. I think I want to put in the sky first. Let me see if I can slide everything down a little bit. Is this going to fall? Do, 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 do. There we go. Perfect. Let's bring this over now a bit. Let's let that catch up. Nice. All right. Don't leave your brushes in water, folks. Oh, I wanted to use this brush today. I remember now. All right. I am working right now on a video, a really fun one. And the painting for the video is a painting I've been slowly working on over, oops, I wasn't going to do green. I was going to do the sky first. Sorry. Over about a month or more. Just filming little bits as I go. And that has been really fun. It's kind of a story time video, probably the last one I'll do for a while, but I'm excited because the topic is really fun. So I'm mixing up some really light blue. This is my cobalt blue from Roman Schmal. I really didn't love Roman Schmal paints at first. I didn't understand them. I'm starting to enjoy them more now. All right, so let's do some sky. Just a little bit of sky. I've been watching this Netflix series called Call the Midwife. I think it was a book. I know it was a book. It was taken from the memoirs of a midwife who lived in the UK, like in the 1950s, and served this very impoverished part of the UK. And the stories are really beautiful and touching. I cried like 17 times during the first 2 episodes. I am a crier though, so that's not unusual. And I feel as though being that I'm a labor and delivery nurse, you know, I can fairly well judge for the time what would have been accurate and not. And I feel that they stick quite well to the accuracy of obstetric care at that time. It's fascinating how far we've come. What I love about the series is it's all about the care of these women and their families, and not about like charting and billing and all the things about my own job that are the most unpleasant, in my opinion. So I like to see that there was a time when that was the norm. I hope you guys are, if anyone's watching this on the replay or whatever, I hope you are painting or sketching along with me. And certainly if anyone comes in, that you will do so. Sketch along with me or paint or do whatever creative task, maybe clean your house. I always say that because I clean my house to live streams a lot. I always like to have something to listen to. I've found some good, do you guys watch like cleaning channels at all? When you clean? Cleaning content? Clean with me? Isn't that strange? I really like it though. I mean, who wants to clean their house by themselves? Sometimes I'll talk on the phone with somebody while I'm cleaning, but it's not usually a very social thing to clean your house. So I do like these like clean with me channels. And I found this one, again, I must have a thing for the UK because this chick, her name is Remy Clogg, and she has 3 kids and cleans her house on YouTube. I don't necessarily agree with all of her takes on things. She's a very she's not a Christian, and I think that causes her some struggles that she might not have if she was a believer. I hear some of the things she talks about, and I always feel like, oh girl, I wish you knew the Lord, you know. It would help you so much with these certain aspects of things that she gets overwhelmed with. But who's to say? I mean, right? Anyway, I don't necessarily agree with her philosophies on life or everything that she says by any stretch, and she's quite a bit younger than me as well. But she's upbeat and she's real, and I really like content creators that are real and just say the truth, you know, of as their experience of it is, like the experiences she has within her own life. I mean, whether I agree with that or not isn't really important. There is quite a bit of overlap in terms of the fact that there are things that I do agree with that she says. So, anyway, let's see. I think I'm going to get to adding, I want maybe the yellow to be kind of a blur, a blurred yellow. I don't love this yellow. I don't love any of the yellows I have. Oh, I do kind of love this one. Obviously, I have no reference for this, but I do look at it every day in my yard. So I have not the grapes. That I had done just on this page, and then I just started sketching around it, around them. You know. So, all right, maybe I should just wet this paper, like just like this. We're gonna do some wet in wet. I love the loose, sketchy aspect of sketchbooks like this. Oops. So I'm just dropping in some yellow. It's kind of a, more of like a lemon yellow kind of color. And I'm letting it blend with the background a little bit. And then I'll go in and add some details. This little thing is like the green head of a sunflower that's like about to open. Just going to drop in a little bit of a more natural kind of green color. And the right side of the page is like super high contrast. It's interesting. All right, how do I want to do this? I guess I'll just do some light. I was watching this show, this interview this morning about how, what am I trying to say? It was about the Beatles, sort of, well, kind of about the Beatles, and like Yoko Ono, and how she like she asked John Lennon, I guess, for like a divorce at one point, and then hooked him up with one of their employees so that she could like be free to go see other people or something. It was so weird. And it was the woman on the interview, being interviewed, was that woman. I guess she had been like an employee of John Lennon for 3 years, working with him and Yoko Ono. And she like knew them both well. And when Yoko wanted to get a divorce, she just asked this woman, I forget her name, if she would like be with John. So weird. Anyway, that Yoko, I get why people weren't such a fan of her. Not judging, I mean, if you've seen my testimony, you know I have my own many things I've done, but it's just kind of like interesting to hear that, I don't know, I don't get exactly her. I mean, I feel like that's even outside of the realm a little bit of, it's just very strange, very controlling behavior. Like, we're going to get a divorce and I want to go be with other people. So I'm going to have you hook up with this employee of ours. I think that's the best idea. Anyway, they ended up dating for like 18 months. And he was really happy with her, which also is interesting. But then I think like Yoko wanted him back. So she asked them to, I don't know exactly. I stopped listening to the interview. I don't know what happened in the end. But I don't know. And I just love listening to all kinds of things. I love people's stories. Be they famous people. I know this is looking kind of crazy. These are just the underpaintings. It's going to get cooler. It is. I really know that it is. Don't you worry. But it doesn't look all that cool for sure yet. It's just kind of loose. I like to do it in layers, you know. That's just how I do it. Been trying to be a little bit more bold with my colors and just like laying them down more boldly. But, and not going with such thin layers all the time. This right here, this was acrylic, obviously. Maybe is anything getting dry? Kind of. This paper does dry really fast, which is nice. I've been really changing my art style also, though like to look a little bit more like this. You guys know every other minute I'm like saying I have a new art style. I don't know. I'm a little all over the place if you couldn't tell. Let's see what else. It's very warm in here. Sorry, I'm getting a drink. Let me move this out my mic away so you don't have to listen. I really wonder if you can even hear me at all. All right, let's add some background over here. I'm going to make it really contrasty, I think, like of this very dark blue. We're going to go in kind of heavy with it. I always regret this when I do it, though. Just my eye is not used to seeing that sort of a thing. All right, guys, here we go. Maybe we'll work it lighter as we get closer to the top. There's more I'm going to do on this, too. I just want it to be pretty loose. I watched a great watercolor channel last night also. I wish I could remember the name of it. He does live streams, and it really inspired me to do one today. YouTube has been hard for me lately. I feel like things are changing for me so much, and I'm really not sure where to go with my channel, which is why, aside from the video I'm currently working on, which is kind of similar to a lot of the work I've done in the past, but it's why I haven't made many videos lately, in addition to the fact that I've been so busy between like appointments every day of the week, every week, lots of just needing to take care of family stuff, and then, you know, my full-time job. It's just been a bit wild. So that's super unusual for me. My life is normally kind of regimented, like not so all over the place like that. But I'm getting used to being more comfortable with that of late. Anyway, there is a really interesting idea I've had in terms of a direction to take the channel in. I want to add in this lighter cobalt blue now. And I'll talk, wow, that's not a lot lighter, is it? And I'll talk more about that, I think, maybe in a post. But anyway, I just feel like I need to do something different if I'm going to keep going with the channel. And it needs to be more sustainable, you know. I need to be able to just make videos more quickly. I love editing. Editing is really fun for me. So it's not like I don't enjoy it, but I just don't have time to do 60 hours of editing on a video. And I need to find another way for the videos to be really fun anyway, you know, even if I can't add all the editing things. I'm going to add this red right here around the grapes, the acrylic painted grapes. So I'm hopeful that, and I think that the new direction that I'm thinking about taking my channel in might also, will certainly benefit viewers more. It'll be more educational in terms of like the things that I'm painting. and much more kind of beginner to like advanced beginner focused. I guess I might as well talk about it here. I was telling Susan about this on the phone the other night, doing some kind of like a back to basics where I'm like relearning watercolor skills along with whoever's watching. Relearning a lot of the basics that I kind of chose not to focus on so much when I first started painting, because all I wanted to do was just paint. All I want to do is have a little fun before I die, said the man next to me out of nowhere. Does that happen to you guys? You say a phrase and then the song pops into your head and you can't live if you don't say it out loud. Okay. Anyway, yeah, I never really learned the basics very well, and I would like to now. I would like to go back to basics and teach myself along with the viewers of the channel things like brush strokes and how to do how to use our brush truly as the tool that it is meant to be, and not just to like plunk down the paint the way I kind of do now. I want to talk about how to really, what's the word? Perfect different watercolor techniques to get the most out of it. Because, you know, I just, I feel like I have been shortchanging myself and even viewers because I don't talk about that stuff. Oh, hello, welcome. Hello, S. Ispelar Ice. Hello, welcome to the live stream. And thank you for the compliment. The paint that I'm using mostly here is both mostly a combination of Da Vinci paint and Roman Schmal, a little bit of Schminke, and one Daniel Smith color. And then right here, this is Da Vinci paint palette. It was my very first palette, like 4 or 5 years ago. My first like pro palette that I didn't put together, but that I ordered. My first one that I put together is actually filmed on this channel. And this brush, believe it or not, is a Polina Bright brush like this one. And I'm showing you this one. It came in a set with this, but I left it in the water and the paint, it cracked and the paint came off. So my husband like repainted it for me. And it's kind of like got this permanent stickiness to it because it was some paint that he uses for work. Anyway, it's a great brush. I really love it. I love Polina Bright's portraits. And so I bought these like, I think 3 years ago. No, couldn't have been 3 years ago because I think maybe 2 years ago. I think there's a video using them on my channel. So yeah. Yes, yes. So I don't know, anybody rewatching this stream who, if you hear me talking about this, this is dry enough that I think I can start going in on it. I am going to put on, I go from burning hot to freezing cold. So I'm going to throw on a sweatshirt. And I am, let's work on this, this side and make it look not so boring. And then if you're still here, East Polar Ice, S is polar ice. Let's say it like that. Okay. What was I going to say? Oh, this is acrylic that I had already had on the page, like acrylic paint pens. All right, I need a smaller brush. Okay. And I'm going to switch out my water to this one. The details are always the best part, right? I'm going to move this maybe here. Can't put it there. I have to scooch everything around a little bit because I'm running out of palette space. Oh, now I have that song stuck in my head, guys. All right, I'm going to use this yellow instead. It's a little less intense. Said the man next to me out of nowhere. I was drinking beer in a bar at noon on Tuesday. Oh no, in a bar that faces a giant car wash. I don't know the words. I do know them actually, but in the moment they are evading me. All right, so most of the front ones I'm going to let be a little lighter. I think maybe I should zoom in. Would that be better? Can I zoom in? Nope, can't. I can bring this down though. Oh, I can. Sweet. There we go. Who knew? Learning stuff all the time. So yeah, I'm not sure what that would look like if I did do this like sort of more educational content. I mean, it would still be chatty and fun. And I wonder if a lot of it couldn't be done via live stream. I don't know, gosh. Like learning to use our brush, learning to make a color wheel. There's so much of that on YouTube already, obviously. But the thing is that everybody responds differently to different teachers. And there are certain people that I probably couldn't learn from if my life depended on it. And there are other people who I just readily gobble up what they say because of the way that they say it. Ooh, I need an orange. Oh, I have an orange. Doy. All right, let's make that sort of a muted orange, shall we? Now this center part, all right, I don't remember what colors. I think this part is like an orangey color. I want to leave out some of the little spots. I love painting little details, and I know everyone does. Some people love doing big washes and stuff. I don't know. I guess it just depends on my mood. Anyone watching, let me know if the audio is okay, if you want to add anything, any topic you want to talk about. I'm game to talk about anything at all. Hey, Mello, how are you? It's so fun to have you on my live stream. It's early, right? Can you believe I'm like doing something at such an early hour? It's kind of unusual. Oops, I was just thinking, is this dry? Oh, not yet. I was thinking about moving over the, all right, well, we'll leave it just about like that. I think that'll be good. No, back this way. This is what I want, like that. And let's add in the dark brown. I don't know what color to, I want to use this like burnt sienna color. It's not really that dark, but I can add a nice blue to it. This Indian throne blue that I was using on the other side. I'll add that in. Oh, that's a little too dark. Ooh, it's getting wild up in here. That's like a black. Ooh, that's pretty. That is a pretty dark. And if you guys are wondering what I'm talking about, this is The indanthrone blue mixed with a burnt sienna gave me this color right here. It's really nice. But I added just a little bit too much of the blue. There we go. Maybe I'll put that there. Is that okay? Can you see it? All right, we're gonna go to the middle. Oh, and I was trying to remember, since this was like in my backyard, what the colors were. And then I think it goes to like a blacker color around the edges again of this sunflower. You know. All right, let's make that not get all muddy, shall we? See, like this, like water control. I should not have done that. I shouldn't have let it be so watery. Things like that I just don't think about when I'm painting. And that's what I want to do, I think, with this change that I'm looking to possibly make, is teach myself and other people how to really paint, thinking about these things, you know, so that we're not always having to remedy problems. I mean, those are the basics. And I was like, I don't need no basics. I can just do my own thing. Well, that's not true. There are universal laws. I mean, you can totally do your own thing, but that doesn't mean it's going to look really good, right? So I think that, like, oh yeah, I love raw sienna mellow. Raw sienna, I mean, burnt sienna, I'm coming around to it. It's not a favorite of mine, but raw sienna, I love the natural yellow that it provides. It's like such a warm yellow. Oh, thank you, Lively Lee. Basics, yeah. We don't need no stinking basics. That's right. That was 100% my attitude when I started, and it has not served me well, Mello, I'll tell you what. I will tell you what. So I think I was saying before, maybe before you came on, that I've been thinking about what direction to take my channel in, and that it might be fun to start talking with, you know, beginner watercolors artists and advanced beginner artists, and helping them, you know, learn the basics along with me, the basics I ignored, and see how that goes for a while. I'm not a natural, I am a natural teacher, like I mean, if you're having a baby, I'm your girl. But art, I don't know how natural I am at teaching that, but you can't know unless you try, right? And I don't want to abandon my channel, but I also have been knowing for a long time that I need to do things differently. And I've tried some things and they've been okay, but, you know, I would like to, I really want to serve other people with my channel. And I feel like sometimes the best way to serve someone is to help them if they're struggling. And, you know, maybe I can be that person. All right, this is, okay, I'm going to scooch this. How, oh, I'm like, why is there not enough room? Oh, because I like, you know, what is the word? I scrolled, you know, went in. I zoomed in. Thank you, brain. Okay, brain. This, I'm just going to let some of these like dry a little bit. Anyone watching this on the replay, you guys need to, if you don't already follow Mello, you need to go follow him. He's so tremendously skilled and talented and has such an eye for so many details and things that I just can't see myself, that it astounds me when I look at his work. So please go and follow him and watch his live streams and support his process as an artist, trying to convince him, me and his mom. Sorry, I'm talking about how you said yesterday your mom is like, go plein air painting, paint anything, it's good. And I was like, yeah, and how like we can't be living concerned about what other people are going to say about our art or whatever. We just have to go out there and do it, which is so hard. In reality, it isn't when you don't have anything at stake, but when it really matters to you, it's hard. And I know that. And obviously, Mello, I know that your wife is your hugest cheerleader of all. And I suspect she's also saying this to you. But I just wanted to mention your channel and encourage anyone seeing this video to go and check you out. Mello mostly paints in gouache, and pencil art is his passion, it would seem. So if that's your thing, go check him out. Let's see, Mello, you wrote, I think that would be awesome. I've had that same thinking about showing and sharing. You know, yeah, that's always been your philosophy. I mean, as long as I've been watching you, that's something that you've been talking about and really seeming to feel passionately about, the fact that so much is sort of kept under wraps that people are doing, like they almost don't want to share the details of their journey with other people. And that would never, ever be my mindset. I would love to share it. I just am not super great at it, you know, which is why I kind of don't. But I'm trying to think about ways I can fill in this background so these petals don't look so spiky. But believe me, in reality, they really look that spiky. As I was sketching them in my yard, I was like, they be spiky, yo. Yeah, you're welcome, Mello. It's true. But I was also saying earlier that I've been kind of quote unquote plein air painting because I've had to sit outside with my partially paralyzed dog. He's not paralyzed anymore. He's walking. He's doing great. But his walk is a little different, let's just say. But anyway, I have to sit outside with him because he can't come in on his own because we have steps leading off our porch. And he gets really scared when he's out there, like playing or trying to go potty, because he knows he's like vulnerable to things. I guess if something swooped out of the sky or whatever, it could grab him. Anyway, so I sit there with him, and I've been bringing my sketchbook out and just sketching our flower garden. And that's where these came from. Not the grapes. The grapes were acrylic, just something that was on this page already. I've gotten some acrylic markers from Artex, who, yeah, I don't know if you saw my video. I've probably made enemies with Artex, but that's okay, because their watercolor paints sucked. So I was not happy with them, sorry to say. But their acrylic markers are the bomb. So I actually bought some, and I've been using them for lots of stuff. In a little bit, once one of these pages is dry, I'll flip and show what, what I've been doing. Acrylic is like a dream. You can just paint over, and who knew? I started painting with watercolor. I've never had the experience of just being able to totally obliterate something I didn't like beneath my, preferred scene. See, look at this. My water control is shite. It ain't no good. And it needs help. I mean, I can manage it, but it's not the way that it's supposed to be done, It just isn't the way. So that's what oh, you did see that video? It was tough love. Yeah, that's for sure. I was like, dudes, don't put this out. Make it better, please. And they were selling it for $50. I mean, it was on sale, but that is the price. And I'm just like, I could not believe. But I just, yeah. And I've been using the Sketchbook, but not for watercolor so much. Let me see, do I have anything in here worth showing? Ooh, I could work on some of this stuff. I did do this thing where I like laid down a bunch of colors. I was thinking I would do like little sketches on top with like white or something. This is something I posted. I wanted to see if I could use it for this. And then I did another set of those, like mixing the colors. These are not their colors. But you can even see, like the sketchbook is so, look at, I mean, everything just looks so weird. I tried this tree, didn't turn out very good, but it's not done. I was just like playing, you know. And I think that's kind of it as far as the things I did in here other than for like the video. Yep, that was pretty much it. But yeah, I also really want to start learning gouache like in earnest. So maybe that could be like a part of the channel as it develops into like more of an educational resource. Like learn gouache with me, you know? I have played with gouache now many, many times, so I wouldn't say that I'm an absolute beginner, but I'm not good at it. It's all about water control, from my understanding. And like, unless you have it, you really can't paint successfully in gouache, it would seem. And I don't have it. So it's a really good reason for me to start learning. It's not that I shouldn't say that. Like, I don't not have water control. I just kind of just paint and I don't think about it. And then it leads me to having to do a lot of repairs. But I think there is a time and a place for that too. Just painting and having fun, but there's also a time and a place for being more mindful about it, which I am, like if I'm doing a commission or something. But it'd be nice to learn it well enough to be able to be mindful about it all the time, just automatically without having to think about it. I guess that's kind of what I'm getting at here to some degree. Let's see. Let's see if I can drop in some of this darker green here. This is why I always feel as though anyone can paint in watercolor. If all you have to do is trust the process, it will usually turn out okay, especially if you can draw. If you can draw and you can trust the process, your painting will probably turn out pretty nice. But there are a lot of very ugly stages with watercolor. Yeah, it is versatile and about water control and consistency of the paint. Yeah, absolutely. I can tell that that is the case. I can't remember where this leaf came from. Is it coming off from here? Oh yeah, it is. I'm like, what is happening when you can't follow your sketch anymore? Your own sketch. And everybody that teaches gouache online, not everybody, but many people who teach gouache online teach things other than portraits, which I've obviously, from this spread, you can see I've gotten into things other than portraits of late. But I find the people that teach portraits using gouache, just on YouTube, I find it quite confusing. And it's not any nothing negative on them. It's totally on me. I just can't always like follow their process. And so I just get lost and give up. I think for me, it's like all about baby steps. The babiest of baby steps, you know? Let's see where we are here. Get into something a little darker. I can't stop singing this song in my head. It's plain ugly to me, and I wonder if he's ever had a day of fun in his whole life. We are drinking beer at noon on Tuesday. A bar that faces a giant car wash. I wonder if I'll get copyright claimed for badly singing a song from like 1992. I could. I'm not monetized, so it does not matter. But Mello, did you get monetized yet? Let's see. Wild Six. Wild Bill. Dude, I need help. Sorry, Wild Bill. The 6 is a B. You can tell that I am a boomer. I saw a video where a fitness influencer passed away, and in his home, the police found he had painted all over the walls, dark-looking, evil, chaotic stuff. And I thought, what about art inspired by God's light, like Daniel in the Lion's Den? You know what? That is 100% why what I'm doing, trying to do with this channel. God inspires every bit of my art. My faith in Christ is the most important thing, and beauty is only present in terms of like the way I see the world because of him. So that is completely Jesus is the leading reason for this channel for my whole life. But connecting with other people and serving them in any way that I can is 100% the reason for this channel. Now, I know that my videos don't always seem to be serving other people, especially when I'm like telling stories about myself and stuff. But the underlying reason for that is I'm always looking to impart sort of like an idea of the character that I'm hoping to always emulate and hold strong to, that Christ has built in me. And then the art is just an outpouring of that. Thank you. That's a great comment. I appreciate it. And Mello, you say, girl, it feels like YouTube keeps moving the goalpost. Why? Oh, do you like get to, okay, this is the thing that sucks. Background knowledge on YouTube for anyone watching. Like you get to that year and then all your bigger views go away and then you have to start from zero. Is that what we're talking about? Because that's me. Though I'm like pretty sure I probably won't ever get monetized. That's okay. I mean, I'm like not doing this channel for money, but it would be wonderful to have it as a source of income just because of the amount of time spent on it. And then future income, like I don't know what's going to happen in 5 or 6 years kind of thing. So I'm certainly not, what am I doing here, against being monetized by any stretch. And I think that people that are putting in the kind of tremendous effort like that you are, monetize you 1,000%. Like they need to make it a little bit less daunting. I don't know. Is that even a thing? Is that like the wrong attitude? I just feel like I can only imagine you probably just get so close And then it's like, oh, it's time for that year to be up or whatever. Or maybe it's another issue, but for me, that would probably be the issue. Let's see. I need about 3K more hours to get super chats and membership tiers, but 4K for full monetization. I'm shocked that you don't have that many watch hours, though, because you're streaming so much. And a lot of people are coming to your streams. Everyone, go follow Mello. Okay, I've said it already. I'm done. I'm done. I'm not trying to be ridiculous. It just bothers me. I want success for the people who are really working hard to achieve it. And I know it will come. I'm not in any way thinking that it won't. It's just really hard to wait. I don't know if this means anything to you, Mello, or anybody watching, but I've been thinking a lot about like the blessings that we are imparted in life and the truth of not being ready for certain gifts that the Lord has for us, and He wants us to be diligent and dedicated in continuing to work toward those things so that when the blessing does come, when the gifting of the payoff of the hard work comes, it doesn't fall apart. And I think that that's just been such a true theme for me. Oh, okay, you wrote that wrong. 300 hours and 1,000 hours for full. Okay, that makes more sense to me. The nerd in me has calculated that I will get fully monetized by Thanksgiving. Praise the Lord, from your lips to God's ears. Truly, like, but that's just, and by no means when I make the statement that I've just been making, am I trying to say that like, well, you just haven't been prepared. You're just not diligent enough yet. But there have been so many times where I've been like so fully diligent in something and it didn't pay off until a time later when it finally did. And I recognized that even though I thought I was prepared at the time when I wanted the success in the thing or whatever it was, God knew me better and knew that I wasn't prepared, and that if He would have given it to me at the time when I thought I was, I very well could have destroyed it. And so the only takeaway from that, obviously, is what you are already doing, and most people are already doing, is continuing to be faithful with quote little, so that the much will be absolutely well stewarded. I mean, I'm certainly not in a position to like have my channel have people be counting on me for videos kind of thing. Your mom said, God hasn't given it to you because you're not ready. You'll ruin it. Let Him finish setting the fight. That is exactly right. Your mom and I think very similarly, Mello, because that's like exactly what I'm getting at. It's like we feel like we're ready, but if the true like intensity of the gifting were to hit at this moment, it could very well be detrimental in ways we can't even see. We don't know what's going to happen. We can't foresee what that might be if it was given to us now. For example, my husband has his entire life always wanted to have us like be homesteaders, basically. Just like growing a lot of our own food and raising a few animals and just having a little property to care for and whatnot. And he spent a lot of time feeling like frustrated that we weren't able to achieve this for a variety of reasons. And just recently it's been made clear to us, and I'm not going to like go into why, but that if that would have happened at another time, it would have led to not the best things. You know, the Lord sees all. We just see the tiniest bit. And it's really nice to know that when it does come, it will be the right time. Like my friend who was waiting to get pregnant for like 10 years and just never could get pregnant. And then finally had her baby, got pregnant when they least expected it, had her baby, and all the truth of why the time that it happened needed to be the time. And now looking back, you can see it all. But in the moment, it just feels like there's no way that you can hold out until that time comes or whatever. But I just feel like it'll be so much better. And I don't know if it's my old age, you know, kicking in or whatever, but I can finally sort of see that now. Whereas before I was like, nah, I need it now about things, you know. So, but we just have to trust. So I'm glad to see that you are, and I know I am, for my things that I pray about. I know I need to get a lot more disciplined in my life before I'm going to be ready to manage any of the things that seem like they'd be nice to have right now, you know? So I don't regret or like have bad feelings about any of that stuff personally in regard to like my own goals. Let's see. So this little sketch, it's coming along a little bit. I want to, let's see. I want this to be like really dark inside of there. I don't know if that makes sense with the lighting, but that's another thing, lighting. Light and shadow, I need to get better at. And that would be another thing that I could grow my understanding of while helping other people understand it. Mello, you are like the king of light and shadow. It's not that I don't understand it, but when I draw, I don't always take into consideration what the lighting is. It's just a whole lot I have to think about, you know? Who can be bothered to think about so many things? Just kidding. All right. I've been trying to be more like David and pray about everything. Which direction, which direction, which day, which direction, everything. Yeah, same. I just don't want anything if it's not what God wants for me, you know? Ooh, I want to use this color. I don't think, yeah, okay. I wish, maybe I could make it, why am I cramming everything into like one little spot on my desk? Maybe if I turn it like this, you guys can see it better. Like, hello? Hello? Can I do this? Oops. Hello, Drawing with Hannah. Good morning. Oh, lovely paintings this morning. Thank you. We're getting somewhere. We're making a little bit of art. I hope you're well, girl. I have been trying to draw little things, Hannah, that are like your little guys you draw. You've totally inspired me to learn how to do that, where you make the people, not the people, the characters like out of little shapes and then flesh them out. I mean, I did one. It looks real strange, but I've never done that before. I really love the look of it. And so thank you for inspiring that in me. We've been talking about the direction of my channel and maybe turning it more into a like back to basics for watercolor channel where I can relearn all the basics of watercolor that I never learned when I first started. I mean, I learned. I shouldn't say, I need to watch my words more. It's not that I never learned. I just didn't practice them the way that I practice everything else, just sort of willy-nilly, just getting it done and having fun, feeling the brush on the paper and not worrying about water control so much and not worrying about all the important technical details that really make painting both like ultimately a little bit easier and also prettier. So I really want to learn for myself these things. And I also believe that people are probably wanting to learn for themselves, and that that might be a nice direction for my channel to take. And, you know, of course, I would still like tell stories and do things like that, but within the context and just as an occasional thing. Sometimes the stranger, the better. Yeah, with the little guys. Yeah, this, I'm not familiar with like, I mean, I'm not like a real artist. I didn't ever learn art the way most people do. And I know shape language is so important. And I've been working on it sort of on the down low for a while, but your little guys really bring that to life. And I just have so many questions, like about your, you know, your starting out philosophy and how you learned and everything. Don't worry, I'm not asking you to answer them here. I'm just welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Please don't feel pressured. And anyone here who hasn't heard of Drawing with Hannah, please go follow her. You will be very grateful that you did. She has a beautiful little channel, not little, it's growing by leaps and bounds. And she is a very creative thinker and talented artist. These little sketches are from my backyard, sitting out there with my now no longer paralyzed mini dachshund, who is just getting his little legs under him now. And we spend a lot of time in the backyard, letting him kind of exercise and whatnot. So I've been plein air sketching my husband's flower garden. And that's what we're drawing now. Ooh. Do, 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 do. And singing 80s songs, 90s songs that I can't get out of my head. Who was that? Sheryl Crow. That's who that was. Until the sun comes up under Santa Monica Boulevard. Yeah. Do, 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 do. So, Hannah says, you know what? If you're feeling that you need to change direction, then you got to follow that gut instinct. Otherwise, you'll always wonder what if or start to feel stuck. That's a wonderful opinion, and I agree fully. And I do adhere to that, generally speaking. I always feel as though we can always go back. Why not try the new thing? My mom, if you've been around my channel at all, you may know that like my mom and I did not have a great relationship for most of my life, and now we've been gifted with such this beautiful, like best friendship since I got saved years ago, and then she came to know Jesus, and she was given like a whole new, you know, she became a whole new person, and it's quite wonderful. But all of that is to say that growing up, unfortunately, and I don't blame her for this, I understand the condition, she didn't really understand much of anything and could not give me a lot of advice on life, and thus did not. But one piece of advice that she happened to give my best friend Julie when deciding whether she should go to college at Humboldt State or stay where she was back in 91, I guess, was why not go? You can always come home. If you don't like it, you're not losing anything. And she was right. And given the, ooh, good thing that's acrylic, I can just wipe it off. Okay, this was acrylic. Given that there was so little good advice imparted to me growing up, and even though that wasn't imparted to me, it was imparted to my best friend, I've always remembered that, and I kind of do adhere to it. So, agreed. We can always try things, and if they aren't for us, well, we know we've tried. And that is what I think I will do. Now, I'm not sure how it will work because I still don't really know all the basics. I'll have to I guess I do know them. I've made some notes. I just feel as though I still need to gather more information to impart to others if I'm going to be doing that. Boy, that looks muddy. Okay, nonetheless. Oh, Mellow. Yeah, her work is beautiful. I'm so glad you went and subscribed. And Hannah, if you haven't seen Mellow's work, you really need to check it out. This is like the third endorsement of Mellow I've given on this live stream, so sorry, Mellow. Probably like, girls stalking me or something. No, you know I'm not, but yeah, his work is tremendously good, and he is very into like comic kind of art stuff and all of that. But, you know, in his own style, and technically it's so nice and so good, as well as artistically, you know. Trying to line around these little, this is like a sunflower that was about to open. Hannah, I would love to pick your brain sometime about your editing. Not in detail. I mean, I know you want to keep things, I'm sure, to like privately to yourself. But I have to ask, like, how do you know when to change your camera angles? Do you have multiple cameras, or like, and if you're not comfortable like answering this, you absolutely don't have to. And you certainly don't, I'm not asking for great detail. I always just wonder this. I should put this as a comment in your comment section. But it's like, ooh, I just got paint all over my water. I always wonder, because I like the idea of changing my camera angles, but I don't really know how to. I guess I should just experiment instead of like relying on you to like tell me. Okay, sorry. Anyway, is weird and uncomfortable. That is my personality. That is my personal brand. Weird and uncomfortable. Making people uncomfortable. Okay. I'm so sorry. Never comes to my live stream again. Oh, boy. This thing looks like an artichoke to me. Kind of, vaguely. Like an artichoke. I want to leave some of the, we need to make it darker in the back so it recedes, I suppose. Ooh. Plain ugly to me. Never had a day of fun in his whole life. Ooh. Trying to make it like really precise, and it's not getting more precise. That's okay. It is just a sketchbook doodle. Just for fun. For funsies and stuff. Oh, sorry, I accidentally left the vid to check out Mellow. I came back and I think you asked something, but I missed the first half. I'm happy to answer any questions. You're very kind. Ooh, I really hope the dogs don't bark. The garbage guy is dumping the garbage in right now. It's kind of miraculous that they're not barking. Praise the Lord. Okay, very good. Keep on driving, garbage guy. I appreciate your business. I mean, your work. But we don't want dogs to go nuts. What I had asked or mentioned was that your camera angles are tremendously good and you are changing them frequently, it seems. And I wondered, how do you know when to change your camera angles? Do you like set an alarm, or do you have multiple cameras filming at one time and then you just edit it together? I must know. And like I was saying, I know that might be personal or like your private thing. So don't feel like compelled to answer. Not that, I mean, you do what you do. It's not up to me. I'm going to stop talking. But I love how you do it. And anytime I film with like different camera angles, I don't switch often enough. I don't think of doing it often enough. And I want to learn. I want to be better. Teach me. Oh, wise one. That, and also, like, I didn't mention this before, but like your music selection is so good. And I have Epidemic Sound, and I have so many saved playlists and songs I love. But then when I go to like add them to the film, it's like I never know how to make it fit. So it might be just that you're extremely like naturally skilled in this area, and may not be even a thing that one can learn. Okay, let's see. You said, I have one camera that I move around a lot. I use a gooseneck phone holder, so it's really quick to move. Oh, okay. So your phone is like in one spot, like the holder, or you might just like lift it up and put it somewhere else. I did get one that's kind of like that. It's got like 4 legs and then the head part, and so at least you can like move it up and down and pick it up and put it in different spots, because I do want that flexibility. Right now I'm filming obviously like above my head. Wow, that's some dirty water. And then I have a tripod that I can put like next to me to get side shots, but it's so cumbersome. And I don't often think to move it. You must have a really good routine down. I'm very impressed, especially because you're always joking that you have like one brain cell. And I'm like, no, girl, just you wait. Give it 25 years or something. I'm guessing you're like, I mean, you have 3 kids, so you're probably like 30 something. And anyway, let's see. I usually switch around every 15 to 30 minutes in real life, but my edits are so frequent that it seems like I'm moving it every 5 seconds. Yeah, right. Well, I mean, certainly not excessively, but it's like perfect. Yeah, I get the one brain cell feeling too, like more than you can possibly ever know. I am struggling. The minnow is pausing, let me just say, but we persevere. We persevere. I just think that, Hannah, your channel is going to go places really, really well and quite quickly. I mean, it already is. I know that you've been out here in these YouTube streets for a minute, like making videos. I've looked back at your catalog and stuff. So you've certainly put in the work and the effort and deserve the success. Mello and I were just talking about that. But there's something really positive and really simple, yet also extremely, I don't know, edifying in your videos. And it's really a beautiful thing. I just want to see you have all the success in the world. So, girls and boys, I have never completed, not that this is complete, but I've never like really gotten even this much done on a live stream before, because usually I'm just like talking. But I think what is really good is that I just dumped, speaking of one brain cell, I just dumped this end of my brush into the water. That's where I'm at. I have been really practicing this kind of slow living of late, and it is paying off, I would say. I've like been able to calm down about 92.5% from where I was before. I just was racing and racing, and I think the benefit of like life kind of hitting us over the head around here has been that I had to slow down. My nervous system was like not happy, and it has helped a lot. I'm very grateful. Because before I couldn't like sit and focus on making a painting and talking and just being still, you know? This is like a lot of prayer too. A lot of clinging to the Lord and being like, help me. I need to chill, please. So yeah, I'm adding this like reddish color here because there's red over here. And so it will like reflect that a little bit. This was just this little piece of, I don't know, like a weed or something. Oh, I didn't talk about that. So with plein air, do we say plein air or plein air? Painting, it is quite easy to like look at a thing and just paint it. That isn't true of looking at a photo reference. There's something about holding the thing just in front of you that allows one to just represent it exactly as it looks. Or, I mean, you know, abstractly to some degree, but I guess you could get exact. Ike is here. Hey, Ike, good to see you. You're probably at the end of your day, right? What with being in the UK and all. Throwback to earlier in the video. My weird conversation about all the people from the UK that I follow. It's great to have you. I hope your day was good today. This weed or whatever it was looks very crooked now. That's okay. This looks like literal meconium, says the labor and delivery nurse. I mean, that is the color. Okay, thank you. I mean, you know, if you add a little bit of darkness to it, if it wasn't mixed in water. But when it's mixed with the fluid as you birth, that's the color it looks like. Okay. Anyhow, this is why I have few followers. I need to shut the yap. Shut the yap. All right. There is another sunflower right here behind. The other thing I want to use is like my brush. Like I just lined, oops, see, that's why I don't do it. I just lined the sunflower and it looks weird when you line it. It's better just to use the brush to make the line. That's the kind of stuff I want to get better at. But then when I just tried to do it, look, I went all out of the lines, dude. All right, let's go like this. Ike says he's on his way home from work, so he can barely hear. Oh, it looks like you've been streaming for a while. I have been on for a while. Maybe I'm talking too quiet. I've been trying to talk quiet. Oops. Oops, can you still hear me? One sec. I think I turned off my thing. Did I turn it off? No, it's still on. Okay. We're still okay, I think. Tell me if you can't hear me. Whoop, 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 whoop. Thank you. Thank you. I think the yes is that you can hear me. Okay. And Ike says, hi, Drawing with Hannah. And Ike says, hey, Mello. And Mello says, yes, you can hear me. Okay, good, 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 good. I hope it's not really quiet, but I think it's better than me screaming. I will only find out later if the sound has been popping like crazy like it was before. It probably has been. I'm trying to learn to just be okay with that, because there's really not anything I can do about it with where I live right now. It's just the way it is. Doot, 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 doot. I kind of like this spread. It's kind of fun. I wish I hadn't had the grapes on it, the acrylic grapes, but a sketchbook be like that sometimes, you know? There's just stuff everywhere, and that's okay. I want this flower over here to be really bright, but it probably shouldn't be since it's off to the side. Yet another rule I don't follow. Can't remember what it looked like. I think it had like really dark green around it. Yeah, I think it did. Ooh, like that. Ooh, you guys, so pretty. I love watercolor. It is so nice. So wonderful. I'm excited to get better at it now. Maybe. We'll see. Ooh, I shouldn't have put that there because that is like in front of it. Oh, thanks, Ike. Hello, Supreme Leader BW87. Welcome. Happy to have you. Happy to have you. Ooh, this should come down a little more. There we go. I think that I'm like really excited to learn to teach myself and others the basics of watercolor. I mean, it's not going to be like super tutorial-y at all, is what I'm thinking. It would just be like, let's learn how to make C-shaped brush strokes. Let's use our brush to its greatest advantage. Let's learn to make flat washes. Let's learn to do this and that. Like, I just feel like there's so many things to learn. And it won't be excessive, but just like a little, maybe a series. I don't know, dude. Every time I think about it, it just feels a little bit overwhelming, but that's because I haven't like totally put it together yet. Whoops. Do 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 do. Ike, when you go home from work, do you take a train or do you drive? If you don't mind saying, you don't have to answer. Let's add some more. I really love this. What color is it? It's called Perylene Green. I always forget that. Perylene Green is like the most beautiful color, I think. It's so rich and dark. It makes like the darkest, almost like a black, almost how like dioxazine purple can get as like the value can be almost like a black. Love that. I want this mostly like covered up. There we go. You take the bus. Okay. I was wondering because like I was thinking, well, he's probably not driving because I've seen you lots of times in live streams. Not that you couldn't be just like listening to the live stream, which is what I do a lot when I'm driving. I'll just have it like the phone next to me, almost like the radio or whatever, you know. Ooh, looky that. That's really nice that you don't have to drive. We definitely don't have public transportation here that's like usable. But I would love it because I hate driving. I get very tired when I drive. I've always been like that. Like I was one of those children that, you know, they could drive around and would fall asleep immediately. Doo-doo-doo. I'm so excited about this little... Ooh, you know what? I want to put in... I know we're going to be like wrapping up here, but I do want to put in the post and the little fence. And the post is green, but I don't want to make it in green because it's kind of like the same. I'll do it in like this reddish color. That'll bring that color in again. So smart. Clearly, I'm real smart. Okay. Supreme says, I love that leaf on the far right. Thank you. This one, yeah, it's like real contrasty. I like the contrastiness. I appreciate that. Whoops. And Hannah says, share, but I don't know what to share. What was it? Maybe it was a typo. And Ike says, I couldn't drive and listen to a live stream. I'd have to look at the phone. Yeah, I would definitely like glance every once in a while, like if I was at a stoplight or something, but I don't think that's legal. So I try not to be a lawbreaker. All right, let's make the post. Here is the little, like, my husband had to put up like chicken fence because my fat little dog would go into the garden and eat everything. Let's see. Oh, same. I agree with Supreme about the right leaf. Love it so much. Oh, thanks. Okay, well, that was a fun one to do. Yeah, it was very watercolory, loose and stuff, so that's probably why it turned out cute. I am a contrast girl, though. I quite like it. I guess everyone is. That's why we like art, right? We like the contrast. Although some people like other things, and I don't know. I was watching this channel the other day. This guy, he tells stories about like art history. And so many people just really love these historical paintings. And I'm just not that deep. I think they're tremendous, unbelievable works of art, but they don't appeal to me in the same way that like other sorts of more modern art do. And that probably just shows my my lack of art-related understanding, because I think if I understood it more, I would gravitate to more fine art types of pieces, but modern art is my jam. Not modern art like a big square in like red framed at a gallery. I don't mean that. I just mean more modern works of art like pop art and listen to my throat making all these weird sounds. I'm sure really loud on the mic. More graphic art is I think more of my style. I'm trying to demonstrate how these are kind of like wiggly and bent. And then I'll put the darker color on the inside there in a minute. Mello says, I unfortunately do that often. I can listen to live streams and drive. And Hannah says, yeah, her too. Yeah, I do it often too. Like Mello, that one day that you were on with oh gosh, what's his name? You know who? The guy that you're always on with, that you're often on with. And you guys did like a 3-hour live stream, and I was just like there for the whole thing because I was on like this long 3-hour drive. It was great. That drive passed way faster than it ever normally does. I loved it. I couldn't watch much of what you were doing, but I was listening to the whole thing. Can we tell that that's the inside of the post? Probably not. All right, this leaf needs to get done, and then we'll be pretty much done. It's a little bit, you know, childlike looking, but that's all right. That's all right. We don't need to be professionals here. Or wait, do we? just kidding. All right. When I plan my paintings, they do turn out, you know, like my portraits and stuff, and I have to put all of this effort into planning them. But for a sketchbook, I think it's just fun to have fun. It's better. It's better, yo. All right. I want this to be like kind of, because like this one's really bright and this one has a little bit of brightness, but mostly it's getting darker on that side. So we need to add some yellow there. Some yellow there. Let's add some lightness in the middle here. That is some really filthy water, let me tell you. And I just keep using it instead of using the cleaner one. I also want to go through and like really understand my paints better. Like start understanding how they work in ways that I used to understand, as far as my transparent ones and the less transparent ones, and really adhere to those rules of them. And yes, I love your name, Supreme Leader. Why didn't I comment on that? I think it's hilarious. Hannah said, okay, I hope you know how much I enjoy your lives. You talking out loud is so nice to listen to. I chuckle along with you. Well, good. I'm glad somebody does. The brain is not always braining well, but we do have thoughts in it. They just don't always make sense. And I'm glad that they are somewhat relatable to someone. I wonder if I should, yeah, I really appreciate that, Hannah. Thank you. I'm going to put like darker here. Trying to make like the insides look darker. I don't know if it really worked. And then I think I'm going to add, just since that was where all that yellow bled out, I'm just going to add a little bit of blue to that area, a little deeper of a blue. Ooh, that didn't really work. And then we'll be about kind of done. I mean, there's a lot. Well, that's dumb. Look at where that stem ends up. You can't, it's like not like it isn't. I have to finish that stem too, because that's going to look cray if I don't. I want this, do you know what? The Da Vinci paints, I love them. They're very affordable and the colors are wonderful. They're very much on par with like Danielle Steele, the author from the 90s that wrote like steamy fiction. No, Daniel Smith. How about that? Where'd that come from? And I think they're very much on par, but the problem with the paints is that the lids don't work or they dry out. Like my Daniel Smith paints, I keep in tubes in a jar and they are never dried out. I mean, I just make sure that the lid is on carefully and they're always very wet, supple, ready to go. Ugh, this is going in the wrong direction. Okay. They are nice, always. And my Da Vinci paints, the third tube of them now, I've gone to use after not touching the tube for like a year. And they were completely like rock hard inside, even though the lid was on. Another tube like split at some point when it was just like inside of my little jar where I keep them. And another one had dried out as well. And so I think if you're going to buy their tubes, like the Da Vinci paints, their tubes, be sure that you put them in pans and then call it good, because they might not. Actually, it's happened to like 4 different tubes of them. And that's quite annoying, because I always like love having the tubes, knowing anytime I want to just paint with tube paints, which the video I filmed that I've almost finished editing that should be coming out soon, I did use tube paints because I had to do a big background. And I went to squeeze them out and they were like hard as a rock. And the lids were totally on. So I don't know if they're just, I mean, on so hard I couldn't get them off, and they were not mal-threaded or anything. Oh, you guys, look at this. This was fun. I was working on this recently. It's like a little, what do you call it? Like a sketchbook page, but on loose paper, obviously. I kind of stole this idea from somebody on Pinterest. Isn't that cute? I made my own iteration of it. I'm moving it out of the way. Hold on a second. But like the little forest and the rocks are all underneath, and then the little house with the windows and stuff. I love it so much. This is the stuff I do when I'm just like sitting around at home. And then I was practicing doing trees. Oops, I'm trying to move it into frame. There we go. Those were really fun. And look at, this is when I had the idea that I need to like, I was like, okay, when you control your water and your paint, things look a lot better in your sketchbook type of artwork. Not that I did any of that in the sketchbook page I did today. But look, and then this is this plant that I have in my room, my art room. It's like kind of, I don't know, twirly and fun. And then, let's see, this was just like a little stump that I did not control my water. And you can tell I had to like, and my edges are not good. Maybe I could go over it with like pencil or something. And then I sketched Ernie down here, but I haven't yet painted him. I don't know what to put over here. I was thinking this would be a fun one to like post on my community tab at some point. Anyway, just thought I'd share that. It was just sitting here. What was the point of all that? Oh, I should have followed those rules with this little sketchbook page, but the thing is that it takes a lot longer than what I can do in a live stream. Oh, thank you, Hannah. Thank you. That means a lot. In a live stream, I feel like I kind of need to go faster, because I'm not going to keep people on for 25 hours. And it usually takes me like 4 or 5 hours to do a page like that. So I think that's part of it. But maybe I could start like working on it a little bit in a live stream and then doing another one later, and like finishing it. I know you do that a lot, Mello, if you're still in here. I'm going to bring this stem down because that looks crazy that it just ends at the fence right there. That's not even the same color as the rest of the stem. There we go. Well, that was kind of fun. So glad I got to do this with you guys. This is something I really enjoyed, and I'm so glad that you guys all hung out. It was wonderful, and I appreciate you all so much. No, I genuinely do. That sounded like I was being fake or something. And so thank you guys, and maybe we'll make something even like a little prettier next time. Maybe I'll build up my ability to like really focus. It was better this time. It was a lot better. I was able to kind of focus on you guys and focus on the artwork a little bit more. So maybe it's just, I just need to keep practicing. All right, folks, I hope your day is wonderful and beautiful. And I hope to have that video out next week that I've been working on for like the last month. So maybe you'll get to watch it, and we'll see which direction the channel goes into. And I just appreciate all your input. You guys have a great day, okay? Bye. Now I figure out how to turn off the live stream. Okay, where's the off? Where's the off? Oopsie, sorry for the loud noise. And stop.